And the devil will pervert feelings in your life to make what I call a feeling script. He'll say, you feel this, you deal with this, you feel this, you deal with this, you feel. This is therefore who you are. Therefore, this is how you have to behave. This is your destiny. And I dealt with feelings for so much of my life, especially my early years. Who's ever heard of a preschool dropout? Well, you're listening to one right now. I just cried and I cried until my mommy let me out of my first year of preschool. And it didn't get any better by kindergarten and first grade. They actually thought I had a reading problem because I was so afraid to talk that when they called me to read aloud, I would just freeze up and not talk. So they put me in a special bus for reading help. Well, what that did is I felt like I was the outcast and the loner because nobody wanted to be friends with a kid that didn't talk. So what ended up happening with all the feelings that came with it was like this lens was put on me. Because it was the embarrassment of being picked last for just about everything. And no offense to the ladies, but when you're a guy and you're picked last for all the sports teams, that's kind of humiliating. Sitting last or alone or maybe with one other person at the lunch table, or overhearing some of the guys say one time that they thought that I was only half of a guy. And you wonder, what is wrong with me? And when you feel for so long, eventually this lens gets put on you, and you don't put it on yourself, but this lens gets put on you that says, this is who I am. And so I saw myself and everybody else in my relationship with God, everything was dictated by this lens that I am just a reject. This is who I am. Now, I don't want you to go feeling sorry for me, okay? Because God has given me the greatest vindication ever. I get to talk to you. He gave me a ministry. And one time when I was kind of talking to the Lord about the brokenness in my life and the things that I had dealt with, here's what God said, and listen to this. God said, Kyle, you can't go back and change the ways that you were broken. And you can't take away the pain that maybe you dealt with for so long. Those things are in the past. You can't go there. They were what they were. But you sure can make the devil regret the day he ever messed with you. You can make the devil see that in your perseverance, you built your character, that weakness gave you strength. You can make the devil see that test gave you a testimony. You can make the devil see that all the junk that he tried to bombard your mind and your life with has only brought you closer to Jesus. You can determine, as I am determined, that my life is going to be a living example that what the enemy meant for evil and bad, God has turned into something good. Your past struggles do not have to be a liability in your life, but they can be your unfair advantage. Today, so many people have bought into a definition of who they are based upon feelings they didn't choose, negative words spoken about them, and of course, regrets of the past. Things that try to dictate their lives, basically saying, because you feel this, you deal with this, you fell to this, then this is who you are. This is how you have to behave. This is your destiny. But you don't have to live this way. If you struggle with insecurity, shame, or feelings you don't want, then you have to check out my 4-part audio series where I reveal how to rise above the most common negative emotions and false identities in order to live confidently as a new person in Christ. This series includes 4 life-changing messages. You aren't what you feel, you aren't what you fear, you aren't how you fell, and how to stand in your new I am. There's a far greater reality for your life than how you feel, what you fear, or the ways you fell. Filled with my own personal stories and in-depth Bible teaching, I know this series will help you experience the courage, confidence, and peace God desires for you today. Are you ready to finally overcome the feelings, fears, and failures that try to dictate your life? Then go online to kylewinkler.org/youaren't and order my You Aren't series on CD or MP3 for a gift of only $25. Order now, and within minutes, you can be on your way to freedom.